Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the ESCAPE Summer School for this year. So this school will be from now, 7th of June to the 18th of June, not like it's written on my first slide. So this school is dedicated to data science for astronomy, astroparticle, and particle physics. So the school aims at providing theoretical and hands-on training on data science and Python development for astrophysics, astroparticle physics, and particle physics, as you should know. And it's actually a continuation of the Asterix summer schools that were held in Annecy at LAP in previous years. And the school was held as a physical one before, so now we are doing a virtual one. So we are going from about 70 participants to more than 1,000. So of course, the organization is a bit different, but we still have the same goal to give you all the tools and good code practice to do data science in your field and to do open science. If you want to join us on social media, you should have the school main page. That's where you registered. You can subscribe to the ESCAPE newsletter, follow us on Twitter, and of course, join us on Slack, where you will be able to ask questions to the lecturers. We now welcome Giovanni Lamana, which is the ESCAPE project manager, who will present ESCAPE.
Thank you, Thomas. Do you hear me? Yes?
Yes, we can hear you.
So good morning. So I have a few slides to share with you. Is it fine like this, Thomas?
Yes. Perfect.
Okay. So welcome everybody to our first ESCAPE school. Let me just introduce our laboratory, the laboratory of Annecy of particle physics. It's a laboratory created in 1976. Is one of the CNRS French National Institute for Nuclear and Particle Physics laboratory and University Savoie-Mont-Blanc. Our research are organized through teams working in different international organizations, international collaborations in around the two infinities, particle and astroparticle physics. Fundamental research combining the four experimental investigations from the largest scale structures in the observable universe to the most fundamental particles, particle accelerators, namely those that are part of the scientific program at the CERN laboratory. Indeed, our laboratory is geographically very close to the CERN infrastructures and was established 45 years ago with the intention of creating a sort of a close gateway laboratory for French scientists. Today, we are more than 150 people among researchers, engineers, technicians, personnel, administrative personnel, and students. We are, let's say, half and half researchers and another half of technicians and engineers implied in developing together with the scientists, the frontier technologies, and building our research infrastructure in different fields, in mechanics, in electronics, in mechatronics, computer science, scientific and control software, and also digital infrastructures. We do host as well in our premises one more laboratory, the theory laboratory, that makes the opportunity for all of us to bridging between the experimental research and the phenomenological studies. And we do also host and manage the MERST data center, which is one of the major worldwide data centers implied in the computing grid for the LHC data challenges, as well as other projects. Let me just introduce with a few slides the ESCAPE project. ESCAPE is a cluster of research infrastructure in astronomy and particle physics. It is a European Union funded project under the H2020 Horizon 2020 framework. It is together with 4 more clusters in other domains. ESCAPE is the results of a proposal which was submitted in 2018 to the European Commission, responsive to a call for building networking clusters of research infrastructure, those that are high priorities in Europe, so-called S3 research infrastructure, but also other world-class projects, in order to support the implementation of the European Open Science Cloud, the concept through which the European Union member states wanted to support the uptake of open science in Europe. Several are the expected impact in this action that are listed here, from the improvement of the access to data and tools to facilitating the cross-fertilization, the cross-border innovation potential in our scientific domains, foster the establishment of global standards, support the scientific productivity of researchers to easy access and open access to data. In one word, the aim was to propose a work program in supporting the uptake of the fairness of data, where fair means findable, accessible, interoperable, reusable. And when we talk about data fair, obviously we talk about any digital object, including software workflows, and this school is about software, and I will come in a while about this point. Just to remind you further elements to provide a sort of ESCAPE in a nutshell explanation. Here you have the pictures of the facilities, world-class facilities that are partners in ESCAPE. As you can see, they are some of them dedicated to exploration of the cosmos, all along the different wavelengths of the electromagnetic spectrum, from radio, astronomy with SKA and JAVI LVI, to, on the other extreme, the very high energy gamma rays with the CTA observatory, and in between with ELT and the other telescope from the ESO organization, as well as telescope for the solar physics. This is complemented by complementary messengers, neutrino, namely, and gravitational waves through the participation of CantriNet and Virgo, EGO. And finally, we do complement the multi-probe approach with fundamental research through accelerator-based particle physics, the high luminosity LHC and infrastructure at CERN, as well as the nuclear physics accelerator-based FAIR at GSI in Germany. All these 7 S3 projects and landmarks, together with the 2 pan-European international organizations, CERN, ESO, and further research infrastructure, are teaming up in ESCAPE, together with some universities, national research institutes, for a global number of 31 partners, including also 2 SMEs. We are at the midpoint of our project. We will conclude our project by beginning of 2023. And we have the coordination at CNRS Lab of such an important and large project. Let me summarize briefly that the ESCAPE work program, in response to the scope and the impact that I introduced earlier, in my presentation, is structured along 5 main work programs, work packages that are also the 5 main bricks that we want to deliver to the implementation of the European Open Science Cloud for our domains, namely the data lake, that is an action to build a scalable, federated data infrastructure for the management of data from those infrastructure, next generation infrastructure that I have shown to you, that are more or less all concerned by the exascale data volumes that I have to produce and then also exploit. The software repository is the willing of building a repository that is part of the EOSC catalog with scientific software, workflows, but in the same time supporting the community to federate efforts and to develop together, including training actions. The virtual observatory is an existing infrastructure in astronomy, supporting already and implementing already the fairness of astronomical data, and through ESCAPE extends its own standards and the methodology in data fairness stewardship towards a larger, broader scientific context, and also to prepare to interface what I called before the advent of the exabyte scale of data volumes coming from the next facilities. Then the program is completed by the development of flexible science platforms that are those that we do need as researchers to implement workflows and to analyze data that will be provided by our projects. But also we complete our actions by exploring and implementing citizen science projects to involve our fellow citizens in the scientific discoveries. But I focus now again on the ESCAPE OSSR, that is this work package dedicated to open source scientific software and service repository, reminding that the objectives are aligned with the need of our research infrastructure to work as open facilities of our observatories, therefore expose and make accessible their digital object. We want to altogether adopt common solutions, offer virtual space for interoperability, multi-messenger, multi-probe data. Therefore, from one side, you have the data sets that are accepted and have to interoperate, but in the same time, we want to support the capacity of co-develop new methods, algorithms to make innovation in machine learning, high performance programming, whatever are the workflows that are complex, because also the data analysis is becoming more and more complex, the computing infrastructure are complex, are heterogeneous, and at the same time, the interoperability deserves to push the scientists to develop further workflows on top of those that are used to deduce the first the scientific results from the data coming from our infrastructures. Among the deliverables, I would like to underline that we, for such a purpose, support the community foundation approach. The scientific community working together with innovation objectives. Also exposing the software means also providing a scheme for credits, for acknowledgement, for rewarding scientists that are committing in such software developments and in open science. But there is an important ingredient that is the matter of these 2 weeks, that are the training actions. That is along this training actions program, the ESCAPE School is organized, and as the chairman was mentioning before me, it is in the long-term tradition nowadays after the successful experience with the similar schools with the Asterix, which was the precursor cluster of ESCAPE. Just in one shot, this is the kind of implementation of European Open Science Cloud for the ESCAPE communities. where you see the 5 bricks, the 5 components that are pillars for implementing the fair open data research for our communities, from astronomy to particle and to nuclear physics. And then I come to the conclusion by addressing my warm welcome to you all, those that are connected today, those that will participate along these 2 weeks. Obviously, I wish to you all a fruitful training. I would have liked to say also enjoy ANSI, because this school should have been taking place here at LAP in ANSI. I hope to see you in 1 year from now. Let's remain positive for the evolution of the situation on next year. And anyhow, I hope that the online approach will largely satisfy your expectations, and the tool put in place will allow anyhow to have to all of you successful, useful exchanges and discussions. Welcome again. Have a nice meeting, have a nice training, and thank you all.
Thank you very much, Giovanni. So just a quick reminder, guys, everybody connected, that you can use the Slack channels presented in the announcement channel. So you can ask questions about the different sessions of today. I don't see yet any question for you, Giovanni, but thank you very much again for the introduction.
Thank you, Arturo.
And so yes, let me just check once again my windows, but if it's not the case, we can come back to Thomas, who will be giving to you more on detail or what will be the mechanics of the school itself in these 2 weeks.
Yes, thanks, Arturo. So let me share again my screen. Here we go. You should see my slide now. So I will start introducing who we are in the organization team, and really thank all the organizers who really helped a lot organizing this school. So Mathilde, Giovanni, Julie, Enrique, Frédéric, Vincent, Arturo, Yuta, and the help of all the people at LAP, Cécile, Maud, Corinne, Sylvain, Cécile, Patrick, Caroline, Rachel, Pierre, and Marie. You can find more about them on the Indico page. I really thank you. Then I would like to thank all the tutors who will give the lectures during these 2 weeks. Tom, Axel, Max, Rachel, Martino, Michael, Julien, Arturo, Enrique, Alberto, Carl, Yuta, Eduardo, Frédéric, Claudia, and Benson. Thank you very much for accepting to give lecture during these 2 weeks and to share your knowledge. So here again, you can find more about them on the Indico page. Now, who are you? So based on almost 400 answers on the survey that you received, we have a really broad community. As you can see on the map, people are following us from all over the world. You are mostly young students, either at university or doing your PhD. And there is still a bias in physics and data science with men overrepresented, but we have a lot of also women following this school, and we welcome every one of you. Thanks. Then from what community do you come from? So as you can see, most of you are not Asterix or ESCAPE members, so that's really cool. So we are really targeting people outside of the project. And this is a representation of the different experiments and projects you are from. As you can see, the largest projects are the most represented, of course, with SKA, Atlas. But there are also a lot of people which are not in one of the project or experiments that our partner from ESCAPE. So why did you why did you register to the school, and how did you hear about the school? We see that word of mouth is still a bigger way of learning about a school and events, but also, of course, your institute or collaboration. And most of you are following the school because the skill and the knowledge that we are teaching will be necessary for your work. So this shows the great interest that you have for this school. Now a bit more technical. So this is your skill level on Python and each topic. So as you can see, a lot of you are already have some experience with Python, which is good for the school. And also some of you know already the basic libraries like NumPy or Matplotlib. So I hope that you will still learn something from our tutors, but I'm sure you will because they are very experienced. But in the other topics, we have a lot of beginners too. So this is really, really nice. You will have a lot to learn. Now, what course do you intend to follow? So you aim to follow all the, or most of the course for most of you. We have very little people entering Node to some of the courses. So I hope I will see you for the whole duration of the school. So now a bit more on the organization of the school itself, because it's a virtual one, so it will be a bit different as the previous one. So first you have the Indico page. You should know this one because that's where you registered. So it's really the school entry point. You have all the information on this page, but the school, the organization, the agenda, the tutors, etc. Then we have the GitHub page, the GitHub repository. This is where you will find the content of the lecture, the material for the lecture, and the install instruction for your coding environment, if you haven't been there already to install your environment. This repository will be updated during the school, so you should follow this repo. And don't worry, you will learn tomorrow how to use Git and GitHub during the Git lecture. There are also a page that you should know, the GitHub issues. That's where you should report any technical problem that you may have. First, please check if a similar issue has not been already opened and solved in the closed issues. If not, you can open a new one. You should describe your problem as clearly as possible so people can help you to solve it. And of course, watch for answers. Then there is the lectures portal. That's where you will find all the information for the lectures. So you have one page per lecture with all the information summarized, the path to the material, the content, the slides, and the recorded lectures that will stay on YouTube. It is, of course, completely open and will stay accessible during and after the school. The YouTube channel, so you should know where that is if you are listening to this talk live. So there is a live, and then there is the playlist where you will be able to go back and watch again some lectures that you may have missed, or if you want to watch again a lecture. Then, of course, there is the Slack. So this Slack is by invitation only. You should have received the invitation link by email after your registration. That's the main communication tool we will use during the school. So watch for announcements in the announcement channel. This is where also you will be able to ask questions during the live lectures on the dedicated channels, which are all following by day and then the topic. So for this presentation, for example, that would be the one school organization. You can find the channel on the left on your Slack browser or app. You can also direct message other participants and tutors to ask questions or simply to discuss with your fellow participants. And you can open new channels to talk about specific topics related to the school or not. Of course, there are also social social channels. I would just ask you to use threads to reply to specific questions or comments on the channels, just to keep the conversation organized. So as you can see on the right, you can just click on reply in thread to reply to people. And then there is also the GatherTown application that we will use. That's a kind of a virtual world or space that we have set up. This will be used mainly for coffee breaks, small group sessions. It's a space where you can also do video sharing, screen sharing with other participants or tutors. It can be used in browser or app. Though it's limited to 200 participants simultaneously. So if you are not using it, I would just ask you to not stay connected to save some spots to everybody. And the map will be refreshed every morning. You should have received also the link, which is on the slide, and you have to register to the space or to log into the space with your email account that you use to register to the school. And we will have a demo just after on how to use this space. Of course, on all communication channels, be respectful with your fellow participants. So the school program, well, you should know the program since you registered to school. That means you are interested in this program. It gathers everything you should have, or the basics you should have to do data science for in your field. So we will cover coding environments, the Jupyter notebooks that will be used a lot in this school. Then version control, continuous development and integration using Git. Then we have a lot of lectures about the scientific Python libraries and workflows that are used mainly in our fields. We will have profiling, debugging, and optimizing a session in Python, and we will end the school with the machine learning lectures. You will find the complete agenda on the Indico page. So I will just tell you, have fun during the school, learn a lot, and interact with each other. Now I will leave the floor to Jutta for the demo about GatherTown. Unless there are some questions, burning questions.
Hi again, guys. No questions yet on the Slack. So guys, just a reminder, you need to join to the channels that they will be posting for every new date and session. So please keep an eye in the announcement channel. So yes, Thomas, no yet question in the Slack yet. So I will let Jutta Snackbell explain us a little bit more about the GatherTown, and thank you so much again for being here.
Okay, hi. So from my side, just a short introduction on the, let's say, all is fun, of course, but that's a bit more fun as well, of the school. So we are providing to you this GatherTown channel. What it is a social platform that allows you to interact using video and audio, just like Zoom, but in a way that you can only interact with people who are in the same virtual room with you or close to you. So the only drawback is that it is computationally a bit heavy. So your browser might become quite busy and your computer as well. So I'm sorry for everyone, to everyone whose internet connection does not do that or whose computer does not do this, but we still have Slack as the fallback option. So try it out and hopefully it works. You have the possibility under the link that Thomas just showed you, and that is linked in the Indico, to connect to GatherTown. We have our own rooms there, let's say, our own space station actually. And you have to log in with the email address that you have used to register. So if you enter it, you get a small note like this one down here. You have to enter your email address and to register. And then first you don't get to the room itself, but you get to a tutorial that explains to you how you can use it. So if you have the time, just do the tutorial. It's quite helpful. But of course, you can find out quickly enough also how everything works by yourself. So, and this is basically how it works. So when you enter GatherTown, you will come to the arrival room down here. And as you see, people pop up in the transporter room. And what you can do, you can use arrow keys to walk around, press X to interact with objects around you. And if you come close to somebody, you can see that their video is popping up on the top, and you can actually speak to them. So, and you can see on the right bottom that I have here my own menu. I can unmute and open my camera. And I can also see actually where I am in my menu down here by opening a big map. And voila, welcome to our space station. So this is the environment we are going to use. And where you can walk around and use this to actually really interact with each other. So why do we use this? The first idea is that we have the possibility here for you to have kind of study groups. So we are a big crowd, and a lot of people probably don't want to ask all the questions directly in the Slack channels, and we might get times where we get busy. So we really would like to encourage you to get together in smaller groups and interact on the exercises and on the lectures. And what you can see here is an overview picture of the space station. So we have rooms, especially here on the top part. So you enter down here, here on the top part, where there are smaller rooms which are dedicated to these study groups. So you can go to these rooms and you can there talk to a few other people in the same rooms and do the exercises together. And you also have a link to the YouTube stream in these rooms. So just try to help each other out, just try to do things together. And this might probably be also a very nice way to see that you're not only sitting at home doing everything only for yourself. But of course, this is not all. We also have some areas down here, which are more dedicated to, let's say, fun. So just explore them for yourself. There are ways to interact there. There are ways to play games together, etc. And now just a few more notes on how to use this. So if I walk up here, you can see a small, it's called a transporter. So if I step on that, I'm transported to another part of the space station, here to the observation lounge. That might be interesting if you're a bit busy and want to go quickly from one place to another. So I went from down here now to up here. And I'll just quickly show you a study room here. And another thing, up here, we have some whiteboards. So there are also in the space station some whiteboards. If I press now X, it opens that whiteboard. And it's the possibility here on these shared whiteboards to leave stickers. So here's one whiteboard where you can introduce yourself. So I put down an example down here with Captain Picard is also here. So just put your sticker here, let people know you're here, where you're coming from, what your hobbies are. Use it however you like, of course, always in a nice fashion. So we get more infos about you if you'd like to share. No necessity to do this, but be invited to do so. And these are the study rooms. And as you see here, for example, we have here also objects lying here with a link to the course pages and also to the live stream. Hi, Tom. You also have reactions. Tom says hi, and hi, like you too. You have the link to the live streams also embedded here. So just get to these rooms, get together, watch the YouTube live stream at the same time. If you like, you can make it smaller as you hear it. It's a bit confusing, so you might want to coordinate that a bit if you do it at the same time. So, but yeah, so that's it on the study rooms. And I think that's also all I wanted to tell you. You can see here that we have a deck. We have the different parts also labeled. So there's a deck 1 left, right, and so on. And the rooms have colors. So if you want to tell somebody where they should go, just use these designations. And last but not least, a few hints. So I just gave you the hints on how to teleport and how to use the white spaces. There are also embedded websites here, especially if you want to play the games and so on. These are not on Gather, they are actually linked. Rules. So we have that you see in the participants list that there are 190 or more, let's say it's almost full. We have also in the shuttle bay, which is next to the transporter room, links to other spaces. They are smaller spaces, only for 25 people. But if there's really the need for a lot of people to go there, so consider with a few other people to do an away mission and choose one of the other. But not least, because we want to kick out people who are just staying there because they forgot to close the browser window, we will reset the space during European night. So we know we have people from all around the world. So if you can use this anytime you like, but be aware once per day, we will have to reset the space. That doesn't hurt. You'll just be kicked out and you can re-enter immediately afterwards. So that's all from my side. And have fun.
Thank you very much, Nita. Here, a little bit of reality again with the mask. So I hope everybody's fine there. I want to remind you once again that you have the Slack channel to ask any question, not only for now, but even if you're posteriori regarding what have been said this morning, please use the channel. I don't know in this case if Thomas needs to say something else or.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jutta, for the introduction and setting up this space that we will use during the school. Thank you, Arthur, also for sharing. So as you may have noticed, we are a bit early in the schedule. So this will leave you plenty of time to get to know the tools, Slack and GatherTone. You can hang around and start to know each other. We will be there all this time, so we can exchange and help you out if you have any problem. You can also, if you haven't done so already, go to the GitHub page and follow the install instruction for this afternoon, where you will need to have an environment to follow the first lecture. And for now, I think we will just reconvene at 11 o'clock with a very, very nice keynote presentation from Rachel about why we need open science. So I really would like to tell you to join that lecture at 11 o'clock. So thanks everybody, and we see each other on Slack and Gather.